what we want to try and achieve is if any customers have got any questions about the produce that we sell, I like to make sure that staff are aware of where we source our produce, so they can talk about it, tell them a little story about it. That gives customers confidence in what they're eating, really. Ideally, obviously all the producers that we work with are all based in Preston or Lancashire. Obviously we try to make sure that all the produce is from the Lancashire area, but sometimes depending on what you've got on the menu, it's that can be quite difficult. And we're constantly talking to our butcher, our greengrocer, our cold meat supplier, to ask them, where they're getting the produce from and how it's sourced. It's difficult. It's slightly more expensive because you can go for really cheap produce, but you don't get the quality. But if customers do have a question, if we can't answer it, we know who to direct them to, what website to direct them to, and they can, you can look at their websites and they can tell a story as well. Some of the produce that we use, obviously we can't get just from Lancashire, but Norman can tell us exactly, where it's from, what countries it's from, and those type of information, really. If we can, but again, it's sometimes it is quite challenging. And like I say, in terms of the sort of greengrocery produce, we'll ask Norman from the Banana King, what's in season, what are we best using, where are you getting the tomatoes from, where are you getting the cucumbers from, that type of thing. And again, because we do like a fresh fruit breakfast, some of the fruits obviously you can't get from this country, and that's mainly sourced in Europe. But again, the idea is that we will use a local supplier who are just sort of 5-10 minutes walk away, and then we'll rely on them to tell us what's been produced locally, or they may be promoting something that's locally produced. I think the learning curve that we're on at the moment, we really need to make. We need to have a better marketing strategy, because customers are coming in, and some of them don't realise that we use Preston Market for the majority of our stuff. And when you tell them, they're really excited about that, because obviously they use the same suppliers as what we do, and obviously it's quality produce. But there's an exercise that we need to do to really sort of promote the local suppliers that we've got, because it's their produce that we're using in the shop, and that's what's making customers come back. So there's an exercise that we need to do as part of the marketing plan to increase the exposure for those local suppliers in the shop.